I'm not really too sure what happened with the door, but it was a little bit stiff and a bit wonky, so I just had to adjust it a little bit. It wasn't like shutting, it was like catching on something. But yeah, it's all good now. I've got a couple of things that I want to do today. So I've emptied the van out, everything's out of the van, all of my tools, absolutely everything. And I've been trying to arrange the garden box to fit everything in. And as always, we've got too many things, so it's a bit tight. But I think I'm going to kind of squeeze everything in there. I also want to clean the inside of the van, hoover it all out because it's really dirty. And I want to get Josh's bed out just to see what it looks like. And yeah, just kind of get it looking like a camper van and not a camper van conversion. Want to get it finished. I've also got the waste pipe fittings, so I can fit the waste pipe. I think this is going to be pretty straightforward, but essentially we've got the brown soil pipe coming up out the ground, and I bought this fitting which literally just pushes on the top of the pipe, and then I've got an access thing there with a rubber grommet in it, and the waste pipe from the house will literally just push into that and just go straight down. It's really quite simple. I'm going to use cable ties just to kind of hold it all in place, and then yeah, just plumb it in. Should be quite straightforward really. Oh god. Under we go. Ow. Hello! I feel like I'm in the Great Escape or something. Ah. Yeah. So I think that just pushes in. There. Somehow, shall I do this bit first? I think we're in. Waste pipe from the kitchen sink is plumbed into there, and that's connected to the top of the soil pipe. So I think we're all good. Oh, oh dear. Right, let's get out. Ah, yeah. Ooh. Oh. You guys have got no idea how happy I am to get this foam mattress out of the bedroom in the house and into the van. We weren't actually planning on keeping it because it was originally for one of those fold up beds that we had years ago when we lived in the 1-bedroom flat, and we ended up keeping it because it fitted so well in that top section of the old van, and we kept it again because we thought it was a bit wasteful to throw it away. And we were thinking that Josh can have this as kind of like a mattress underneath the mattress that he's having, because he's having another mattress on top of this, which is more like a proper mattress, but it's quite a bit thinner. I'll show you in a second. But the reason we decided to get it is because when Josh isn't sleeping in the van, because quite often we'll go away without him, then we can roll it up and it goes into a bag, and then we can put it in the house. So we can have this whole space underneath the van for wherever we need to. I don't really know, but oh, I can't get it out. There we go. Oh. I think you just like roll it up one way or the other, and then you zip it together with this flap, and then you've got a carry handle as well. Or maybe fold it, I don't know, but looks pretty comfy. Let's kick off the shoes. I'm not sure how thick it is. I think it's 10mm thick, which is about half the thickness of ours, but if you had it thicker than that you wouldn't be able to roll it up. This is what it's about though. I know the view is nothing at the moment, but doors open, looking out at something amazing. Joss can just like lay here. He's got a little socket there to charge his phone. He can play on his phone or whatever, and then we can do the same on the top, just looking out the beach, a lake, I don't know, mountain range, anything. Oh. Every so often I like to give Digby a little bit of a trim, because he picks up all the dirt off the floor every time we go out for a walk. So to save myself the hassle of giving him a really long shower 3 times a day, it's just easier to do this every couple of months. If he sits like this as well, it really doesn't take too long. Look at this mess. Digby, this is all yours. I think sometimes he gets quite hot, particularly in the summer. It probably feels good for him to have a bit of a trim up as well, I think. Look at that. You're looking good, Diggs. You're looking good. So another thing that we completely forgot about is that now we're back on the campsite, we have to contend with having a limit to the amount of electricity we can use, and because we don't have any gas, it means that we have to be a bit careful with what we're using. So at the moment I'm cooking dinner and I've got sausages in the oven, I've got pasta boiling, well, the water boiling, and I need to cook the vegetables in the pan as well. We've also got the underfloor heating on, and we've got the fridge on. Becky's in the van at the moment doing some work, so she's using power in there as well. It all starts to add up very quickly, and before you know it you have a power cut, and then you have to go outside and trip the switch, and then all the clocks reset, and it's really annoying. I don't remember it ever really being too bad though. I think you just kind of learn to stagger things. So with the hot water heater as well, that's another thing that we use power for. I've got that set on a timer to come on twice in the day, so it will come on at 4 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock in the morning, so that will heat up the water in time for Becky to have a shower and everything and wash Digby after the walk, because she does that first thing in the morning. And then it will come on again at 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then that should heat up enough water for me to have a shower, do washing up, cook dinner, I don't know, just kind of like do things like that. When we had the house built, we did have the option to have gas, and we chose not to, because although it's a bit easier to have gas, I guess, because then you haven't got to worry about the electricity so much. It's the same with the van as well. We haven't got gas in the van. The big problem with gas though is that it runs out, so you have to keep buying new gas canisters. If you're not like plumbed in or anything, it's just gas canisters over and over again, and they're really expensive, and it's just an inconvenience we don't really want. So no gas, and potential to have power cuts as well because we're using too much electricity. We're on a 16 amp supply, which, to give you some perspective, I think the oven uses around about 8 to 10. I think if you put the oven on full whack it uses 10. I think the rings on the hob use about 4 each, so you can see how it can add up quite quickly. I heated up the oven first, for example, before I did anything on the hob, so once the oven's up to temperature, then I don't think it uses as much power, so then I can start doing other things as well. So yeah, it's just a bit of a juggling act really with electricity. Whenever I cook anything, I always seem to cook way too much. I think it's probably because I'm always really hungry when I cook dinner, so I always end up cooking loads because I feel like I can eat loads, but definitely too much there for 2 people. I suppose we could always save a portion for tomorrow. Next week though, we are going away in the van. Becky's got a work thing that she's going to up in Loughborough, which I think is in Leicestershire, which is kind of slap bang in the middle of England, like right in the middle. But we're going up there on Tuesday night, I think, and coming back Friday or something like that. We're going to try and stay off grid for the whole trip and see how we get on. Maybe jump around a couple of different park ups. I've already had a look at a few that we could stay up and found a few places we can go. I think it's mostly going to be me and Digby though, because Becky's going to be out for pretty much all day. I also want to do a couple of things before we go away next week. So I've been meaning to put a shelf up in the house for Becky for months now. She keeps pestering me about it, so I want to get that shelf done. I also need to get a shower curtain in the van, and I think we need to get maybe a mat for in the van, because we've been using the one in the house and taking it out there. So it'd be nice to have our own one in there. And I think we might get some steps as well, so we can step up onto the bed, because the toolbox isn't in there anymore. So I've got a couple of things to do over the coming weekend before we go away, so make sure you come back for that. But for this video anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up. We're just going to have a bit of dinner, and then we'll take Digby for a stroll around the campsite, and then we'll just kind of settle in for the evening, I think. I really hope you enjoyed the video though. Give it a big thumbs up if you did. If you've got any questions about the move, the tiny house, being on a campsite, anything like that, just leave it in the comment section and I'll get back to you and possibly answer some questions in a later video if it's a common one. But until the next one guys, have a safe drive, stay alive, have a lovely day, try not to spill anything, and we'll see you next time.